As an incorporated public university, ITS has been able to manage autonomously the policy of academics, organizations, finance, students' affairs, human resources, facilities, operational, and infrastructure.
In the spirit of Indonesian heroes, during the battle in the 10th of November 1945, ITS always makes efforts to be the best in education, research, and community services, especially in the fields of industry and maritime. ITS also actively contributes to the nation development, and in the future, ITS will become an entrepreneurial university with world-class reputation.
ITS has many achievements. Both national and international achievements prove that ITS keeps growing and gives the best contribution to the nation of Indonesia. ITS is a place for new hopes to grow. An ideal environment for the new generation to flourish in 3 strategic locations within the industrial city of Surabaya. As a smart eco-campus, ITS maintains harmony between technological advances and the sustainability of the surrounding ecosystem. ITS has 7 faculties with prospective scientific fields, including Scientics, INSYS, Vocation, Creatis, Martech, Electrics, Plan. ITS is a space for the new generation who are hungry for knowledge because it provides a wide range of references in both physical and digital form. ITS makes it easier for the new generation to access information by providing flexible classes. ITS keeps moving forward in facing future challenges by providing the best facilities for the new generation's activities. The facilities support both spiritual and physical needs. ITS also provides research facilities in the ITS Science Technopark, including ICT and robotics, automotive, maritime, and creative industries. Therefore, the excellent generations from ITS will emerge and make history. ITS is a space for the new generation to express themselves. ITS is a place where the new generation learns new things and finds their purpose. ITS has become a place where the new generations that carry the future will be born.
ITS is a campus of science and technology, which focuses on the research and innovation, presenting technology for prosperity.
With a spirit of heroism, University of Heroes.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, before we start commence the program, and here are the following webinar protocol. For each participant ID, please use your real name following with your origin of institution. All of participants are expected to mute the audio and only unmute the video. We cordially invite you to take your own firm and comfort seat in your own room, and please avoid the backlight. Make sure that you have a good and stable internet connection. If you have an earphone or headset, we recommend you to use it so that your voice can clearly and loudly to be heard. During the Q&A discussion session, all participants, please use the chat box to deliver the questions. Thank you for your cooperation and consideration.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining our researcher and research student enrichment program today. Before we start our agenda, let me reinform the webinar protocol to join this event. First, please adjust your name or ID screen using the given format on this slide. Second, during the event, please turn off your audio and only turn on the audio when the moderator gives you the chance. Third, please turn on your camera. Fourth, please ensure your network has a stable connection. And then fifth, please adjust the seat position comfortably and prevent the backlight effect. I will also read out the important information for today. First, please fill in the attendance form on this link, bit.ly/attendance_R2SEP 2021. The link will be closed in 15 minutes after the link has been shared. Second, please fill in the feedback form that will be shared 15 minutes before the session ends. It will be closed after 1 hour. That will be 5:15 until 6:15 GMT+7. Attendance and feedback is compulsory for these purposes. First, it will be mandatory attendance for ITS Masters and Doctoral students new intake. Second, it can be used for certificate of participation, and it is eligible for international participants who have 60% attendance, minimum 5 meetings. And then third, it's for STEM for it. It's eligible for ITS undergraduate students. Welcome to Researcher and Research Student Enrichment Session on today, Thursday, the 22nd of April 2021. I am Nur from ITS Global Engagement, and today I will be your Master of Ceremony for this session. Please do not forget to fill your attendance at the link bit.ly/attendance@2STP 2021 that will be sent by our committee via the Zoom chat room. Participants who wish to ask questions during the question and answer session, please send your questions at the link bit.ly/softandqa_R2SEP 2021. That will be also be sent by our committee via the Zoom chat room. Before we start our agenda, allow me to deliver our schedule today as follows. For the first agenda is the opening, and then continued by the second agenda, which is the introduction to the moderator and speaker. After that will be the main agenda, the lecture session, followed by the Q&A session, and will be continued by the certificate awarding. And then finally followed by the last agenda, that is the closing of R2SEP. Before we move on to the next agenda, please allow me to elaborate today's lecture. Today's lecture theme in the soft engineering stream of R2SEP is about literature review, latest tools and methods, which will be delivered by our speaker, Dr. Muhammad Ashraf Fauzi from University Malaysia Pahang, and Dr. Afan Hamzah ST will be the one conducting today's session as our moderator. Our moderator today, Dr. Afan, is a lecturer and researcher at Industrial Chemical Engineering Department in ITS. Dr. Irfan finished his bachelor degree and doctoral degree both in ITS in chemical engineering. His research interests include the enzyme immobilization and bitumen extraction from aspartame. Now that you are informed about our moderator, without further ado, let's proceed to the main agenda. To Dr. Afan, as our moderator, the time is yours.
Thank you. I'm sorry, I have this technical problem. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention? The presentation of R2SEP is about to begin. Honorable Dr. Ashraf Fauzi, our speaker, our committee, and a participant. Good evening. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
First of all, let us express our gratitude to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala for all blessing and opportunity that Allah gave us so we can participate in this special occasion. We would like to have a presentation about literature review, latest model and tools. Before the presentation and the hands-on begins, I would like to introduce our distinguished speaker. He is Dr. Ashraf Fauzi. He is a lecturer, also a researcher in University Malaya Pahang, Malaysia, that has expertise on cybersecurity, customer satisfaction, customer behavior, customer engagement, leadership, and knowledge management. And his educational background is a postgraduate diploma in Islamic Studies, Doctor of Philosophy in Management, Faculty of Management, Multimedia University, Master in Engineering Management, University Putra Malaysia, and he took the bachelor degree on manufacturing engineering in IIUM. All right, without further ado, I would like to welcome our speaker, Dr. Ashraf Fauzi. Time is yours.
Thank you very much, Bapak Afan ya. Ladies and gentlemen, bapak-bapak dan ibu-ibu, Assalamualaikum dan salam sejahtera. I am honored to be invited as a speaker on the topic of literature review, latest tools and method. Let me introduce myself. I'm a senior lecturer in UMP. I've been working with the university around 3 years. Previously, I was with International Islamic University Malaysia. When we are talking about literature review, okay, what is a literature review? Past studies, when we enroll in PhD or master's degree, or in postgraduate degree, we have to refer to other studies, right? Past studies has already researched, they have already published their work. There are many theses available. There are many journal publication articles available. So what we need to do is to find the answer. Okay, these published findings are what we call literature, right? It's already there. It's in the database, it's in the knowledge has been discovered. And what we are doing now is we are reviewing the literature. Now, that's what we call the literature review, right? We are reviewing other people's work. So this is the actually one of the most fundamental part. I'm just sharing my photo here, 2018. I graduated my PhD from Multimedia University. The first steps towards your PhD or master's graduation is literature review. If you are able to succeed in your literature review, there's a what you call a light at the tunnel, the end of the tunnel. Because in this stage, you are discovering something novel that is worth the degree. Sometimes when students do proposal defense, the examiner asks, what is your novelty, right? I think probably you heard from your seniors, or probably you yourself has been asked this. What is the novelty of your research, of your study? Or what is the uniqueness? Novelty is something new, novel. Something new that you found, that you want to find in your study, right? Because what we do in PhD, particularly, we are advancing, we are stretching the boundary of knowledge. We have knowledge, so we are stretching a little bit of the knowledge, and that expansion is what we call the novelty. This is what we call Doctor of Philosophy. You found something in philosophy, right? Right. So first, you need to do literature review is for you to demonstrate your knowledge. How far and how deep you go, right? How far and how deep can you go by going through the literature? What has been found? What has been done in the study, right? And I believe this is soft engineering, and soft engineering it has a little bit got to do with social science, management. Am I right? Right. So when you are advancing your knowledge in this area of management, social science, soft engineering, not that technical, right? It is much more subjective. Okay. Management, social science, art is more subjective. You can have 10 people saying support to your study, and you can find another 10 study that is not supporting your study. But all are true, both are true. Right? It's the way how they think and how they view from that perspective. Right? We always see in the literature, some have different opinion. Some say A, and you found other study say B, but both of them are true. No one is false, right? And then how do you demonstrate your knowledge into elaborating that why you choose A and not B, and why you choose B and not A, right? At the pinnacle of knowledge is that you are able to accept and agree to disagree. This is the pinnacle of knowledge, not saying that I am right and you are wrong, no, right? So the pinnacle of knowledge is your ability to accept that you are right and someone is also right. For example, I'll give you an example. When you use Likert scale, Likert scale is when you answer questionnaire. Some use even scale, right? And some use odd scale, right? Both are true, both are right, right? So this is the way you demonstrate knowledge at the highest peak. And then justify the gap in the research. So when you do research in your area with the right keyword, with the right searching strategy, you can identify the gap, right? To find the gap, you must make sure that you have exhausted your research in that area, or meaning you have found most up to your knowledge that you have found most of the literatures in there, most of the papers, right? And then for you to do a literature review is also for you to conceptualize your framework, right? In management or social science studies, especially in quantitative studies, you need to conceptualize your framework. What is the theory behind your study, right? What is the fundamental knowledge that has been done? So we are talking about standing on the shoulders of the giant. When you do research, you are not inventing something totally new, no, right? What you are doing is you are expanding. Remember, you are expanding. You are not creating something new. Right? We just expand and found that there are something different or something similar based on your context, right? And also literature review is also to inform the methodology. What are you doing? Is it quantitative? Is it qualitative? Or is it a mixed method? Or is it a experimental base? Right? So this is the reason why we do literature review. Okay. Right. As probably some of you has attended some literature review or research methodology classes or workshop or some other lectures. Probably the trainer or the speaker has taught you differently or something similar to what I'm saying. But this, from my perspective, I'm more comfortable to talk about the basic and the most important part in doing the literature. All right. So what is the first step to do a literature review? Is it straight away you have to write, right? Or you just write? You refer to journal or books or what? Okay. Remember, when we do academic writing, when you are enrolled in postgraduate degree, we are doing academic writing. So when you do academic writing, you must refer to journals, mostly journals, right? If you cannot always refer to newspaper or magazine, cannot, right? Newspaper can if the fact is very relevant to your study, right? So a simple and easy steps to do a literature review, right? This is from my little experience, right? There are 3 stages. There are 3 stages, basically 3 stages. However you do it, it should involve or revolve around these 3 stages. The first one is to search and find the materials, right? Journal, mostly journals, thesis and report. All right. Stage 2, catalog your research. Then only you have to write, right? Okay, before you do stage 1, you must already know what you want to do, right? You already probably you have a research topic. The research, usually when a student come with a proposal, a student wants to do a PhD or master's degree, there are 2 ways usually. Sometimes student propose the topic to the supervisor, or sometimes the supervisor has a grant or a research topic and he or she convey to the student. They propose to the student and the student will follow the way of the research proposal by the supervisor. Usually these are the 2 main way you do a PhD or master's. So you must know what area you are. Right? Then you need to find the materials, the journals. Right. Stage 1, let's go. There are 4 methods, 4 steps of finding relevant research. Right. Step 1, you must go to your university online library. Right. Like in my university, my institution, University Malaysia Pahang, there are free database, right? Database subscribed by the university. You know, actually this free database, the university are paying these publishers a lot of money, right? Science Direct is the most popular. Emerald, Taylor and Francis, Wiley and Blackwell, In the Science, what else? JSTOR, Sage, right? So all IEEE, so all these database, if you go to your university online library, you should be able to search for the correct, you search your journal based on this free database. You must really apply this. And probably I think that in ITS also there are free database that is subscribed by university. But sometimes, right? Sometimes there are databases that you can access, right? For example, UMP, they already unsubscribe Emerald, right? Of course, there's issue of fees, issue of payment, budget cuts and here and there. So what you can do is you can, this is the importance of networking. When you have friends from other institutions, you can get the help from your friends using their databases, right? This is very important, right? To get a free database, right? There are a pirate way, okay? There are pirated way that you can access articles, but I shall not discuss here, right? Okay. Apart from the university online database or library, online library, right? The three most important websites you must use for searching, okay, are first Corpus, two Web of Science, and third Google Scholar, right? Why I see this? Why Corpus is the most important website, right? And why not Web of Science? And why not Google Scholar? Okay, first of all, Google Scholar is the biggest database, but Google Scholar, there are many. Sometimes journals and articles are irrelevant. There are predatory journals is indexed in Google Scholar, right? The most priority is Corpus, because Corpus, all the articles in Corpus is from journals that is highly reputable. These journals all these journals who wants to be indexed by Corpus, they have to meet certain criteria, right? They first of all, they must not be predatory journals, meaning journals that only wants your money, then you publish your paper to them. So that is predatory. And compared to Web of Science is actually better quality, right? But there are sometimes relevant articles that is not available in Web of Science is available in Corpus. Corpus is intermediary level, right? Web of Science is higher level. But to have a wide, broad range of articles, you must use Corpus and Web of Science. Then you go to Google Scholar to retrieve articles that might be relevant, even though they are not indexed, but not predatory. Okay, I will show a little bit on Corpus later, a little bit of hands-on, right? Okay, still step 2, right? So on this Corpus and Web of Science website, you must apply what we call appropriate searching strategy to retrieve the article and journals relevant to your research. Okay. So what are the strategy? These are the 4 strategy of searching. You not search. You want to search. You want to search relevant articles. First, you must apply Boolean operator. Then phrase searching, truncation, and wildcard. Okay, what is Boolean? I got it mixed up. Okay, phrase searching first. Phrase searching first. Phrase searching is the exact matches on words with the phrase search, double quotes. So when you have a double quote, you get a better relevancy over the same words in non-phrase search without double quotes. For example, this is my area, knowledge management. Knowledge sharing, when you have the double quote, your database will search only the words knowledge sharing, not knowledge and sharing apart. If you put knowledge sharing in the same search, the algorithm will search the wording knowledge probably in the beginning, sharing somewhere in the middle or at the end, right? But you don't want the knowledge and sharing apart. You want to find it as a word, as a phrase, so you put double quotes. This is basic. Probably some of you has known about this, but it's very, very powerful. I still do this. I still do this when I wrote and write my journal articles. Almost every day, if not week. And also virtual community, because virtual means differently without the community. Virtual and community means differently, but virtual community is a specific term, right? So you want to find the word virtual community, so you put a double quotes, what we call a phrase search. You want to search a certain phrase, right? Someone raising hand, and you want to ask, you can interrupt me throughout the talk. You can interrupt, no problem. If you want to ask, probably you forget later on. You can ask if anyone has any question, no problem. It's a discussion and a sharing.
Okay, everyone, you can interrupt Dr. Ashraf to ask a question or give some comment. Please raise your hand.
Okay, never mind. We just follow.
Yes.
If anyone has any question, just interrupt, no problem. And second one, Boolean operators. Logical, we call a logic search. Logical search. The command is and you want to look for article that, for example, virtual and community, right? So the search must contain these two words. So that is and. Or is like virtual or community. Some article might have only virtual and some article might have only community. So it all usually has higher output than and. Okay. And not is you want to exclude. For example, virtual community, you want to exclude like e-commerce, right? Because sometimes e-commerce is interacting term with virtual. So you want to exclude e-commerce, for example, right? Right? For example, if I put smartphone addiction, this is in Google Scholar, smartphone addiction, it results in 11,500 results, right? But if I put double quotes, it reduces because there's the algorithm only detected smartphone addiction as a word, as a phrase. So it reduced from 11,000 to 3,800. And when you do this, it probably limit to the articles that is relevant to you, right? And then when you apply the or, right? When you find and use the word smartphone addiction, what are the synonyms? What are the related wording that shows smartphone addiction, right? Smartphone dependency, problematic smartphone, or ubiquitous smartphone, right? So when you include or, because you don't want to miss this terminology, because sometimes the terminology used in Malaysia is different. Probably in Indonesia, the terminology is different. But when you go to Western countries, the African, the European countries, probably they use different terminology. So you need to use all these different terminology, right? Okay, and then truncation. What is truncation? A searching technique by replacing a word with a symbol. Frequently used is asterisk, question mark, or dollar signs, right? Why is this truncation? When you put technology, we put an asterisk there, right? Because technology is many, right? Technology, technologies, technological, technologically, right? What are others? So when you put an asterisk, the system will search all that has the root word technolog. So anything words that comes after the G, they will find it, like technology and all. Like community, and you asterisk after the T. can be community, communities. So this be useful in your searching strategies, right? Okay, and then wildcards. Wildcards are symbols used to represent a letter of letters in words. Usually, it is to find the variation in spelling, right? Or in the style of American or British language spelling. For example, analyze. Analyze in UK they use S. In the US they use Z. So when you put ana, is a wrong spelling error. Analyze. I'll miss the L here. Okay. So this asterisk here will include all the different wording that can be fit in here. So analyze can be in terms of Z, and it can be in terms of S. For example, it's also a question mark, right? And question mark and it can be resulted in man or man as a plural and singular. Right? So this is a function of wildcards for singular and also for different spelling of American and British. So because in journals, if you see journals are from many countries. Some are from the US, from the UK, the Australia, from even other countries, right? Some use American English, some use British English, right? So you need to find all of these different English version, right? Okay, for example, okay, let me show a little bit of hands-on, okay? A little bit of hands-on. Okay, so probably most of you are used with Corpus, isn't it? Are you familiar with Corpus?
Yes, we're familiar with Science Direct and Corpus because
yes. Okay, Science Direct is a database, Science Direct database. Science Direct, Emerald, all database, right? All the Science Direct, Emerald, Taylor will be indexed by Scopus. So actually, when you search in Science Direct, you cannot find articles in Emerald, right? You cannot find articles in Taylor, isn't it? So actually, Scopus is everything is inside. Emerald, Science Direct, Taylor, in the Science, every journal that is Corpus index. So it's very important for you to use Corpus, right? Let me show you a little bit of how to search strategy. So we go to advanced document search here, right? Okay. So in advanced, you need to search what is your keywords. For example, like I show, when I search knowledge sharing, okay, it results in 276,000 documents, right? This is too many. This is too many. You are not able to read and scroll down 276, even 276. This is 276,000. It's too much, So, but when I put a double quote, right? Because this is a term that I need. From 276,000, you only obtain 77,000 with double quotes. So it reduces your search because this is from all Scopus, right? Science Direct, everything. So your initial screening, your initial search for articles should be in Scopus. This is my from my little experience. Okay, so 77,000. Okay, still too many, right? Still too many. We are not able to even read 77 in 1 week. Only 77,000. So there are still strategy. Let's go back. I did. Okay, if you sit down here, If you see down here, all title, apps key, and source title. Okay, what is this in Corpus? It's very good technique also. What is this? If you put all, it will, this keyword will find the term, everything in the paper, right? For the whole paper, all, right? And if source title, it will search only the title only. The title that has knowledge sharing, the word knowledge sharing. But title apps key, right, is the title, the abstract, and the keyword. This is what we use. We will use this title apps key. Title, abstract, and keyword. So if we use this, because if the word knowledge sharing does not appear in title or abstract or keyword, and it appears in the text only, meaning that article is not suitable. Because when you search, it should be what the main keyword that you search, it should be either in the title, in the abstract, or in the keyword. That meaning that journal, that article is relevant to you. If only it appears somewhere in the text, probably, right? I say probably it's not relevant, right? So if you search like this, okay, it reduced to 16,000, right? From 276 to 77 to 16,000, meaning this 16,000 is relevant, okay? It's more relevant to your search. All right. So how to make this search meaningful? Let me just paste. Okay. So these are my one of my string. This is what we call string. String. This is the different keywords that's included in my search. Right. So knowledge sharing, the synonym is knowledge transfer. Knowledge transfers, and knowledge distribution. You also can have asterisk. And then what I want to find knowledge sharing and the word virtual community, and its associate what you call synonym, or terminology that is used. So virtual community, community of practice, or online community, right? And I want to search it with structural equation modeling. Okay, structural equation modeling. Okay, this should be okay. It should have okay. Is it correct? Okay, let's search. Okay, so with the appropriate string, I have reduced my search to only 55 documents. That is very, very relevant to my study. Knowledge sharing, knowledge transfer, knowledge distribution, and virtual community and its terminology, and structural equation modeling. Structural equation modeling is a methodology. Is a methodology. I'm using a structural equation modeling where I analyze a model based on partial least square structural equation modeling. So this is more methodology, because I am interested to look at only relationship between variables that is imbued in a structural equation modeling. So these 55 documents is very, very important. So if you look at the journals, this is from Emerald, this is from InDesigns, this is, I'm not sure. This is in Taylor's, this is in Springer. Okay, so everything is here. This is online, this is not sure. This is Science Direct, this is Science Direct, this is Science Direct. So this corpus include every database that is relevant to your research. Okay. Any question on the corpus? No, Okay, never mind. Proceed. Okay, stage 3. Step 3. Step 3. After you search your library online database or online library, and then online database, Corpus, Web of Science, and Google Scholar. Step number 3 is we should do snowballing. Snowballing is from the terminology of the snow. So when you let snow rolls, what happened at the top of the mountain when the snow, because in Malaysia, Indonesia, there are no snow, right? So you just can imagine. So snow will, when they roll down a mountain or a hill, at the foot of the hill, the snow, the small ball will grow larger. Okay, snowballing, right? So this is what we are doing. What we should do. You should refer to your main article. When you do your study, you must have a main article that you think that this is the article that really fit my study. So from that article, you follow the paper of that paper. You follow the way that the author writes. You follow the methodology. You follow the research paradigm. You follow the theoretical framework, right? And you will refer them as you go along, right? From your start of your study until the end of your study. Okay? You must have, it doesn't matter. It can be 4, 5, 10, 20, but not too many. Okay, not too many. During my study, I have around 10 to 20 main article that I really printed it out and I refer to it until at the end of my PhD study. The paper already stripped, because I already flipped up too much. I refer to it too much. So you should have to. You should have a main article that when you look at it, it really feels that, oh, this is really correspond to your study. Okay, another one is look for a review article, right? A recent review article. The review article must be recent. If from that one paper that really relevant and recent, what I mean recent is like now we are in 2021. The review article, a recent review article should be at least 2 years max, 2019 and 2020. That is recent review article. Because why? From the recent review article, in that review article, you can find many articles that is relevant to your field, right? Because review article usually, at least the least I've seen a review article is around 10, around 10. And I myself, I reviewed an article, I produced a review article with 64 articles, right? So imagine if you receive an review article with 64 studies that relevant to you, right? That 64 studies, you can, because it's already like someone is already helped you. Okay, this is the 64 articles that you need to read. So basically, you don't have to, break your head to find these 64 articles. Someone has presented to you already. Okay.
Sorry, Dr. Ashraf.
Yes.
There is the participant that raised his hand.
Yes, please.
Okay. For the participant that raised your hand,
okay.
Please.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Ashraf. Good day. Yes. It is interesting. You said that when we do literature review, when I got a bunch of journals for me to cite them, I mean, referring them. I believe there must be some boundary for us. I mean, can you show me what is the boundary for us, the researchers, to not get crossover it, so that to avoiding any plagiarism and all that? You got what I mean?
You mean when you refer to the article?
Correct. Yeah, and then I don't want to be in a situation that at the end of the day I'm come as a plagiator or something like that. So what is the boundary of it? Yeah.
Okay. It's easy actually. When you have a review article, right? When when we talk about rephrasing, when you read an article, of course you cannot take an exact words and paste it in your thesis. That's very wrong, right? The least you can do is let's say around one paragraph, right? You need to rephrase it, and rephrase this is from your own understanding and what can you understand from it. Okay, when you have a review articles, let's say you found an review article with 30 articles that are relevant in your study. That 30 articles, you must find the articles individually. Because when you go to the reference, you can see the 30 articles, right? So that 30 articles, you should not just review or rephrase from the one review article. You must go to the 30 articles and you have to dig from there. But it's already easy because the review article already given you the way, it already give you the path. You just need to walk on the path and take the articles, right? But do not take exactly from that review article. Review article, it gives you the idea only. You must refer to the individual papers that you found in the review article. That is already so good for you. And of course, now if you take an exact wording, even the one sentence, same or 3 or 4 words, same as a author, you have to run through the similarity index checker. They will found. The best thing is you rephrase from the 30 articles, not from the review article. You can read and get the idea. Okay, hope that answered the question.
Okay, thank you, Encik Ashraf. The key word is that we have to write it on our own way. I mean, we did only reviewing, but we have to write on our using our own word, right?
Yes. That's okay. That's the basic lah. Meaning you need to really understand. That's why.
Got it. Thank you, Encik Ashraf.
Okay. All right. Okay. From this review article, you also can produce a journal paper, right? You can also produce a journal paper. Okay, this is example. This is example from one of my academic staff in UMP. They produced a review article, a review. So from here you can see the author. This one article. You can see this author. Okay, Schranger and Teufel. The reference 102, right? So it already lay out to you what are the dimension, the sub-dimension, what are the theories, right? So you can refer from this one review article in the text. They has already put out the studies or the articles that they review. So you just go straight. You click on 102, 75, 77, and so on. So from this one review article, it already gives you the view, right? So if you can find, or if you cannot find, you can find a review article that is, rather similar or not that far away from your context or your field of study. All right, this is my review paper. I produced this after my study. I produced this after my study. Using a systematic literature review, a systematic review. If you a systematic review ni is quite a long topic to talk about. There's a step of how doing a systematic literature review, but on the basic is I do the string, the boolean, the phrase search, and I produce a paper on this. Right? Okay. And then step 4. Related dissertation. When you start your PhD or your master degree, you must have a copy of a thesis, right? Or dissertation that is related or similar to your study. So let's say you are doing knowledge sharing, you must have a thesis that talks about knowledge sharing, so that from there you can follow the style, but not copying the exact word or plagiarizing the thesis. But when someone already have done a topic in knowledge sharing, but probably in different contexts, you can follow the style, how they report chapter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? But do not copy lah, of course, right? Because copy or plagiarizing is a mandatory or in academic. In academic is a mandatory accusation, right? Okay, so have a thesis like this. You already put thesis, right? Hazina, Syaridato, Intan Mazita. So these are theses that my professor gave to me, my co-supervisor. Right? He's very good. So already lay out the thesis that I can refer to. So from this, if you found this thesis, how to find this is another way lah. So you can refer to the style and follow their way of writing. Okay, stage 2. That's stage 1. Stage 1 is the fourth step. Stage 2, catalog your research. You must catalog your research. Okay, step 1 is by using a reference management software. Okay, I believe many of you are using this already, Mendeley or EndNote, right? So when you deal with literature review, this is the part in your thesis that there are so many articles that you read and you keep in your files, right? So a reference management software is a tool to help you manage the file. Okay, I've used Mendeley and EndNote before. I use Mendeley a lot, but recently I'm using manual, right? Because for me, after using Mendeley and EndNote, myself is for me, because I'm a more manual type of guy. I just get the reference from Google Scholar and paste it on my article, because I'm not doing thesis anymore. I'm doing general publication, so it's more simpler. So for me, manually is much better lah. But for thesis, you must use reference management software, right? Okay. Step 2 in stage 2 is to synthesize your literature. Use mind mapping software or visualizing software. Atlas TI. Atlas TI, okay. Atlas TI, you can visualize your idea. It can divide your ideas into theme and thematic analysis. Example, in my area, knowledge sharing, why do people share? Right. So this software it can divide or segregate, visualize that people share knowledge is probably because of the reward they want. So that is one theme, reward. And the thing is because of the requirement by the top management. Let's say in university, why the lecturers are sharing knowledge. So that's the thematic analysis, because of the reward and also because of the requirement, or probably because of other factor. For example, like they just willingly want to share. So these are the thematic. Atlas can do this because they search in terms of wording inside the article that you put. It can divide the articles based on the themes. So this is also very good. Or you can use a whiteboard or blank paper. You just visualize yourself. Your area, what are the, mind mapping. Mind mapping is a big one. You go to small sub, and you can able to see what are the things that people talk about in literature, right? So before you write, you must digest this first. What can you go? Because sometimes when students they write, after 4 or 5 months, they believe that this path that I'm going is actually cannot be written. Because there are no reference, there are no resource for you to refer. So that's why what happened when you rush into writing, you are not digesting what you should follow or what the area that you should write. You will stumble into a wall, meaning you feel lost. You cannot write anymore because you don't know what to write, right? Because you are not visualizing your thoughts and ideas on a paper or this software. Eh? Okay, then only in stage 3 you write. Okay, so before you write, you must have that search and catalog your research. Eh? Okay, step 1 in writing, you must sort your theme or categories. Sort in theme or category. This is my table that I used to submit in one of the journal. Now in review, under review, right? So I use by year, 2009 or so. This is the first 4. I think this is around 50 something, 50, 62, 62 articles. So it descend down to the recent years. So this is early 4 years, right? So you sort down all categories. What I do now is category: authors and journal, sample and country, focus area, the method that they use, and the main findings, right? Then the theory that is used in the paper, right? And what I can see from what I search, all the papers, they are talking about only 2, complying or violation. This is what we call computer security behavior, or cyber security behavior, or information security behavior. So most of the papers talk about only complying or violating. So these are the categories that you can do. Probably your professors or your supervisors has taught this. Build this in table using Word or Excel. You can use this. So this is very good because you can see the main findings or what has other people do. So you put in a very systematic way. Sort, right? Before you write, you must sort first. Okay. Step 2, you must write. Of course, when you sort this, you are already writing, right? You're already writing, right? But this you are writing in individual journal paper. But now you need to write and combine, right? This different article into a paragraph, right? You must combine the main findings by including conjunction and suitable wordings to connect the sentence. You must connect this, right? So, but when you already have this individual paper that you put in your main findings, you can easily put it in writing in your thesis, right? For example, right? In a study conducted in Singapore, then I use the same exact wording here from the main findings of Ng et al. 2009. Right? So I just put the blue color is what I add, right? And the black color is the original from the main findings in the table. Right, this is and then combined with Deneb et al. Within 2 cultures of United States and South Korea, because the second article is from US and South Korea, and you put it like that. It's like you are connecting paper 1 and paper 2 in a thesis, right? And then in paper 3, you put in the paragraph, in a study by Harris and Rao, it was found that blah 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 blah. You can use the same wording in your table, right? So when you do this, you will be able to complete a proper thesis later on. First draft is you just write, you just put it. First draft, nothing perfect in first draft, right? Of course, when you go to proposal defense, when you go to Viva, there will be correction, there will be amendments later on. But at least you must put into writing. Now, this is already what we call a simple literature review method. Okay, so a recap. So first, stage 1, search and finding materials using university online library, online database, Corpus, Web of Science, and Google Scholar. Snowballing by taking main paper or review paper, and then related dissertation, your thesis relevant to your field, and then use reference management software, Mendeley or EndNote or manual. But I would not suggest manual lah. You must for early students who just registered in postgraduate study, you must use a reference management software, right? And then synthesize your research by using a mind map of using atlas.ti or manually on a whiteboard or a piece of paper. And then you write, sort in teams and categories, right? Based on the paper that you found in stage 1, right? And then you write. Then you need to write. Literature review is, you need to write, right? But before you write, you must, for me, this is my experience, there's a step that you must go through, right? Okay, this is my tips, just write, and write, Let's say for one day, you are able to write 100 words, right? So in 1 year, if you write 100 words, is it many? It's not many. 100 words. You can write 100 words within 1 hour. In 1 hour, right? In 1 hour. So a simple 1 hour a day, right? So for 1 year, if you call istiqamah, istiqamah, if you consistently write, in 1 year you can produce 36,500 words. 36,500 words times 2 is already more than enough for a PhD thesis. Sometimes 36,000 or 40,000 is already a thesis. Okay? That's 100 words. If you write 500 words, it's 182,500 words. Let's say you take 60,000 is your thesis. Another is only 1/3 of that 182,000. It's only 1/3. Another 2/3 is for your journal publications and all, right? All right. Of course, sometimes we are not productive. Sometimes we have high mood. Sometimes we have low moods. Sometimes we have high motivation. Sometimes we are low in motivation. Right. On average, mean you should write around 300 words, right? Because sometimes on your productive days, you can write even 1,000 words, even on 1,000 words. Right. And then time management, is my experience, my own personal experience. I use Pomodoro. Pomodoro is an Italian technique. Italian technique. Let me tell you a story about my own journey. I still remember 16 April 2017. I received a call from my supervisor. She said that, Ashraf, I am resigning. Okay, I need you to submit your full thesis in 1 month. Because if she resigned before I complete my defense, I will not be counted as her student. So she need a favor from me to send it within 1 month. 16 April, from that day, I was like panic. How? At that time I already finished chapter 1 to 3. So I haven't started chapter 4 and 5. So from that day, 16 April, still remember, 16 April 2017, I used this Pomodoro technique. If any of you have used this technique before, is a 25. It said that you can focus for only 25 minutes, right? And then you need a rest of 5 minutes, and then continue another 25 minutes. So when you do writing, when you write, is a burden to your brain. If you notice or not, when you write for long hours, you get fatigue. You feel tired. Your brain feels tired. So you need to use a Pomodoro technique. Focus 25 minutes. After I use this technique, I submitted my thesis 23rd of May 2017. Around one weeks late lah, after the target of one month. But I've written chapter 4 and 5 within 5 weeks using this time management technique. I still use now. So every time I use Pomodoro, I jot down. Okay, I've done this, right? You can see this April this year. This is my current. I still apply this since 2018. Right? Okay, motivation. Of course, when you do literature review and when you do your postgraduate study itself, you need to be motivated. Because motivation is like a meal. You must take it every day. Okay? You must take it every day. If you do not take a meal for a day, you have no energy. Now you're fasting, you still feel tired, right? But sometimes when we fast, we have that extra energy. But then when we talk about motivation, you must take it like a meal. Meaning the motivation must come every day. Take experience from those who have survived. From now, I want to promote a bit. This is a book that me and my editors are working on. In UMP, we compiled around 19 authors of how they go through their PhD journey, right? With Dr. Professor Madya, Dr. Chung Jackie, and Putri Fazlin. We are the editors of this book. There are 19 authors that wrote their journey of PhD. So I would like to share this with friends from, because this is English. The language is English, because we want to convey this to the, not only in Malaysia, we want to convey this to outside world on how these 19 authors has gone through their PhD journey. Okay, if you are interested, you can go to this platform, UMP e-commerce online platform, to buy this book. It's not printed yet. It will be printed hopefully by the end of this month or early May, right? But I already have the soft copy. I can show you a snapshot of the book. Not all. I just show you a bit of the book. So is a casual reading to get the motivation from these authors. Most are Malaysian. There are one expatriate here. Dr. Senthil Kumar is from India. The others are all Malaysian. Some did PhD in Malaysia. Some did in US. Some did in UK. And some did in New Zealand. Right. Okay. So these are some of the snapshot of the book. It's just a casual reading on how they managed to complete their PhD. So it's just a sharing book, and probably if you're interested, you can buy this from UMP. Okay, that's the end of my little sharing on literature review, and a bit of, infuse a bit of motivation among the postgraduate students. Thank you. I believe there should be a question and answer session.
Okay. Thank you for your outstanding presentation, Dr. Ashraf. It's very meaningful to get some tips in technique of searching, to tabulate the journal, and how to write every day, how to focus, and etc. I will please, for the participant, when you before you deliver the question, please mention your name and your origin. And this there's Mr. Ahmad Agung Purwasari will ask the question again. Please. For Mr.
Thank
Ahmad.
you. Yeah, it's me again, Encik Ashraf. My name is Ahmad Agung. I'm a doctoral student. Well, sorry, I just didn't really get what you mean by Pomodoro, your Pomodoro technique. I didn't really get.
Okay.
It sounds to me, it sounds delicious to me. I mean, make me hungry, but I believe it is not what you mean by Pomodoro. I think.
Okay, let me show you. Okay. Let me show you. Okay.
Yeah, it's just kind of remembering me of pizza, Pomodoro, and all that. That's why.
No. Pomodoro is. Let me show you.
It sounds delicious to me.
Yeah. Okay. This is a Pomodoro. Let me show you. Pomodoro. This I already put in my tab here. Okay. Pomodoro is actually when you start. I use this every day. Even now I'm using this. Right. When you start, for me, when I click start here, it's like a discipline. It's a self-discipline. Right. When you start, you must focus the 25 minutes doing what you are supposed to do. Like this, when you are doing literature review, these 25 minutes, please do not open your social media, Facebook, Twitter, and all. Do not. Just focus on your writing. It's a way of managing your time and also managing your discipline. Right? Then at the end of the 25 minutes, there will be short break around 5 minutes. That's the concept lah.
I see.
Every 3 times of 5 minutes, there will be a long break of 10 minutes. But for me, I do not apply the short break and long break lah. My target is every day, I should have at least 5 Pomodoro timing. Right? At least 5 times that I focus on writing. Right? 5 times of Pomodoro, meaning 25 minutes, or let's say half an hour times 5 is 2 hours and a half. So that's around how much time you should focus on writing your literature review or doing anything, or doing your work, or chapter 3, or your writing for publication or journal articles. The thing is, the key point here, applying Pomodoro technique, is for you to manage your timing and to be productive.
See.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. That's great. It's brilliant. Okay, thank you.
Okay. For the next participant that has been raised his hand is Mr. Bagus. Please deliver your question.
Okay. Thank you for the. Hello. Can you hear me?
Please.
Yes.
Okay, please. Thank you for your presentation, Mr. My name is Bagus from master student from ITS. I just want to ask something like, can you share with us tips about your last statement about the motivation? Motivation is like meals to you, right?
Yes.
It have to be. We have to eat every day, and we have to be motivated every day. Can you share with us your tips about how can we get that kind of motivation, and how can we get the motivation ready every day? What do you do about it?
Okay.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Mr. Bagus. Okay. When you talk about motivation, certain people, they get motivated differently. Okay. Some of you get motivated by eating. You know, when you eat something, you get motivated. You feel happy, because when you're happy, the body release endorphin, right? Some people they feel happy when they go traveling, right? That's why when you should not always too focus on your writing. You have no spare time to do other things, right? You must do something that you are happy, because when you are happy, your body will release endorphin. For me, what I did is I go for jogging. When jog, we get runner's high. And when in runner's high, you feel very motivated, right? Because that motivated you wants to bring into your writing. That motivation you want to bring into your writing, right? And also sometimes I watch, not sometimes, most of the time lah. I watch movie also. I like to watch movie, because when I watch movie, I feel happy. So some of you can get happy and motivated, because happy and motivated is like brother and sister. You cannot get motivation. You cannot get motivated without being happy. Okay, you cannot get motivated without being happy. You must be happy to be motivated. So the first key is to be happy. Do the thing that you love. You can sometimes for ladies, sometimes they like to bake. They like to bake cake, biscuits. They like to cook meals. This make them happy. So you bring this motivation, the drive of what you are doing, and you transfer to your writing, to your thesis. It's very important. From the science perspective, there are around three happiness hormone. First is endorphin. Endorphin is from physical things that you do, endorphin. Second one is oxytocin. Oxytocin is the happiness hormone that you get from your social relation, right? When you have your significant others, your wife, your spouse, or your girlfriend or boyfriend, this increases your oxytocin. And for those who has children, they're feeling love towards their children, it will bring up their oxytocin. And then the third hormone is by eating. Forgot the name of the hormone. It's by eating. What is the hormone? Endorphin, oxytocin. Anyone remember the third hormone? Happiness hormone. When by eating, when you eat, you gain that hormone. Right?
Dopamine.
Huh?
Dopamine. No.
Dopamine, yes, dopamine. Betul. Right, correct. Dopamine. Dopamine hormone is by taking food. Like banana is high in dopamine. When you eat banana a lot, if you eat banana a lot, you can get hallucination actually, because it's high in dopamine.
Becoming monkey.
Yeah. Yes. Right. Or you eat something like cake, something with sweet. This will give you happiness. So the key is to be motivated. You must be happy first. Then you can write. If you are not happy, you cannot be motivated. And what when you do and for the motivation, you must have a drive. You must have a drive. What drives you? What when you do PhD? What are the factors that drive you to do PhD? Probably some of you, the driver is for you to get promoted. Or some of you, they want to be called a doctor. Or some of you, it's just achieving the pinnacle of academic. PhD is the highest level of academic. So what drives you? This driver, you must polish every day. Right? This driver, when you want to install software, you must have a driver, right? So that's why also when you want to install a PhD in your life, you must have a driver. What drives you? What drives you? Right? For me, what drives me is my father also a PhD graduate. He works. He obtained his PhD at the age of 39, but I was a young boy, and I look at him, and he has become my idol in doing PhD, because I went to UK and Egypt following him when he did his PhD, and I look at him as a role model and my idol. That becomes a driver for me. I want to be like him. So what is your driver? What is your purpose? That will drive your motivation. Because if your driver or your motivation high enough, come what the challenge is, come what the barrier is, right? You are stuck in writing your literature review. You are stuck with methodology. You are stuck with data collection. You're stuck with data analysis. When you have that motivation, you have that driver, you will be able to overcome, because the barrier compared with your motivation is higher. It can crush down the barrier or the challenges. Okay. Just hopefully answer Mr. Bagus.
Thank you very much. It's actually a nice tip. So the motivations, the source of motivation, you mean that not only came from your purpose, but it can came from the other sources that make you happy, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Asaf.
You must identify what is the source of your happiness, right? And the driver also, what drives you to do a postgraduate degree? Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Bagus.
Okay. For the next question, is there anyone want to raise his or her hand? Okay. Please, Mr. Iman Taufik, please deliver your question.
Yes, Mr. Iman. Yes.
Thank you very much. My name is Iman from Master Degree ITS. So from your slides before, I saw that you show one software for the mind mapping or something like that. So could you inform us what kind of software, and maybe could you share how the manual book to use the software? Thank you very much, Mr. Ashraf.
This is the Atlas TI, Atlas TI. Oops. Okay. If you go to Atlas TI, okay, atlas.ti. Okay, now it's already Atlas TI 9, I think. Okay. Okay. So this is Atlas TI. This is very good. It's very good to help you, right? To help you find the theme. What are if you can the basic thing is when you upload your papers inside Atlas TI, for example, you upload 100 papers, but sometimes when you download too much papers, you feel lost, right? You don't know what to read.
Yeah, correct.
Right, it happens, right?
Yes.
You don't know where to start. Where am I?
Correct.
Apa dia ni? Too many, banyak sangat. So what you can do, the software, it can detect what are the theme that when you put your title, let's say knowledge sharing in higher education, right? The software will search for you the theme. What are the most theme that the author are talking about? For example, in knowledge sharing in higher education, the knowledge is owned by professors. So issue of professors sharing knowledge. And another, sharing knowledge among students. And another, the issue of trust. So it can list down around 30 articles from the 100 articles are talking about trust. 40 articles talking about professors. So I am not the expert in Atlas.ti, but you can find a person who there is Dr. Ani Monira in Malaysia. She is very from Universiti Utara Malaysia. If you know about Universiti Utara Malaysia, she is the best trainer for Atlas.ti in Malaysia. Right? Probably you can find from Indonesia. Talks about Atlas.ti, how to use and how to operate and find relevant theme according to your study. Right? I also want to learn the advanced version of Atlas.ti. I think you can do a trial. You can download here, and then you can look at in YouTube. In YouTube, there are many people talks about Atlas.ti.
Okay.
Atlas.ti.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Ashraf.
Yes. So you can look about Atlas.ti.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, the last person to deliver the question, Mr. Muhammad Mujaba Ahmed Khan, please deliver your question.
Hello, assalamu alaikum.
Welcome.
So thank you very much, Doctor, for your wonderful presentation. I'm from Germany. I'm doing my PhD from University of Malaysia, UTM.
Oh, okay. You are not in UTM?
Yes, you see.
Okay.
Basically, I'm from India. I'm living in Germany and I'm doing PhD in Malaysia. You see the technology, you can see, Subhanallah.
Very crossover,
Yes. So I'm glad that I met you so virtually. So it's wonderful experience with the literature because I'm right now in 3rd semester. I'm from industrial background, you know. So I'm trying my best to go too deep in the research. So it is not so easy maintaining all those things. And you told about motivation, you know, sometimes my motivation goes up and down.
Yes.
So sometimes I think, what is the reason why I should do PhD? Sometimes my motivation is my wife, you know. She says, "No."
Yes,
Yeah.
motivation is like iman, you know, it goes up and down.
Yes, you're right. So how did you manage with 2 kids, you know? I mean, with the family having, I have only 1 kid and I cannot concentrate. Yes, that was my first question. Second question comes to the technical part where you spoke about Scopus.
Okay.
Scopus, in our university also we are following. But let's say I have a topic in software testing. Now I'm also in software. So software testing, when I go for, let's say, search, so my professor or supervisor told me to concentrate latest 5 years.
Yes.
Okay, let's say 2020 to 2015. Now, when I say snowballing, you know, then I found a lot of things which are, let's say, in the not 5 years, they are, let's say, 10 years back.
Yes.
So how do you suggest us for the students, you know, to do those snowballing and use Scopus properly to get the track, to get the gaps properly?
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mujtaba, is it?
Mujtaba, yes.
Good to hear from. Are you in Germany now?
Yes, in Stuttgart, you know, Stuttgart. Yes.
What time is it now? It's morning, right?
No, it's 11:54.
Okay. All right. When you do literature search, there are sometimes what we call a seminal paper. Seminal paper is the very first discovery of that area. When you talk about, like, say, software engineering or software testing, the paper you must cite because it's the first time an author discovers certain topic. So that a very important paper you must cite.
Okay.
Go back to 20 years or 30 years, right? For example, I do knowledge sharing. The main theory goes back to 1975. So I must cite that 1975 paper. Okay, but here, if you look at Scopus, right, when you want to do a literature search, you must limit to a recent 5 years.
5 years, okay.
Yes, right? Because especially in engineering or like software and things, it talk about technology. Technology is very, very recent. Software, it develops very quickly, right?
Yes.
So you cannot talk about, when you're now in 2021 and you probably go for Viva in 2022 or 2023, at that time, when you talk about technology in 2015 or 2016, it might not be relevant anymore.
Okay.
Isn't it? When you talk about big data, you talk about industrial revolution, the progress speed up very much, and at that time probably you need around 2 or 3 years technology that you can refer to. So you must limit to at least 4 or 5 years only.
4 or 5 years. Okay.
It's actually subjective to field. When you talk about software engineering field, it should be very latest. Unless the paper is seminal paper, a very important paper, first discovery. We talk about software, probably first discovery about software. You must talk about that.
Okay.
But what people have done in other countries, other contexts, you cite a recent paper.
Okay.
Hopefully that answer you.
Yeah, but let's say, can I cite a paper which is, let's say, in 2012, for example?
Okay, you can, but what you cite should be very relevant, not just some citations are very strong citation.
Okay.
When you talk about hadith, there are sahih and da'if, isn't it?
Yes.
So if you want to a sahih hadith is like when you want to make a judgment, right? So when you make a judgment in your thesis, you must cite a very recent one.
Oh, okay.
But you want to talk about amal,
Yes.
you can cite the Dong If one like the 2012 one.
Okay, thank you.
When you want to make a thesis statement or you
Yeah,
want to state a strong judgment, make sure your article is very recent.
very recent. Okay. Okay.
Okay. So that
Thank you very
helps.
much. Thank
Okay, and
you.
answering the first question, I think most of you have families,
Yeah.
Actually having family is a good motivation. It's just to manage their time. Your spouse should be understandable. You should talk to your spouse. Because when you are doing PhD, it's like you are carrying another baby. Need attention, right?
Yes, you're right.
You need attention, isn't it?
Yeah.
But you are giving your attention to your thesis. So thesis is like another child, unborn child.
Yeah.
You must, if you have 2 kids, that's with the thesis you are implicitly having 3 kids because you give attention to them. Nevertheless,
Yeah.
I think having kids, having family is a good motivation to boost up. But time management is very important. You need to give, for those people like those who are not doing PhD. When you talk about those who are having 1 child and those who are having 5 child, does the love of a father, for this 5 child is less compared to that 1 child?
No.
To me,
No. It is equal among them.
is it equal amount of love, but
Yeah.
time and the attention is lesser, but the love is equal. The love towards a parents to 1 child and the love of parents towards 5 childs is the same love, 100% to 1 child, the 100% to all the 5 child, each individual of them. But the attention is lacking. So you need to manage the attention. But the love it should be the love towards the child and love towards the thesis. It should be equal.
Okay. It's a great motivation. Thank you very much.
What is the fun having another child without having another wife?
That's funny.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a question in the chat box.
Yes, there's some question in chat box. I will read for you, Ms. Dr. Ashraf. Okay, this is a question from Iman Taufik Dauli and Ahmad Ibrahim. Maybe I will just because it's almost the same. How can someone identify and choose the best master paper during research, or how to identify good research gap or limitation of the studies, Doctor? Is the first question. And the second question is from Mr. Iman Taufik Daulay. He has a working experience 15 years in the international shipyard. Right now, he is pursuing master degree in ITS, and the bachelor degree is from marine engineering. He has some question about how to create hypothesis. Should we use some statistic method? And the second question, he already has a thesis topic from his supervisor about multi-criteria decision making. He will use the MCDM method to solve the problem in the company in the shipyard Riau Island. So the question is, could I combine the method with the other subject that I got during my first semester in management master degree, such as statistic operation management, and the second question is, what is the best method to combine? What is the best method that is able and matched to combine with the MCDM method? That is maybe the last question, Dr. Ashraf, because we close to the fast time.
It's okay. It's okay. Okay. The second, I think that let's go backward. I think the last question, I think I could not answer because it's not within my the technique.
Okay.
The technique is not within my idea. So
okay. Thank you.
The method. So
maybe
I
just
cannot recommend or comment what.
Okay.
No. Okay.
Okay.
Then regarding the industrial experience,
Yes. Maybe you can answer the research gap and the hypothesis.
Okay. The hypothesis from one of the participant, how to develop the hypothesis. Okay. From those who coming from industry, they have a lot of practical knowledge, a very practical knowledge. But the issue of practical knowledge, when they combine with academic, sometimes it does not jive. It does not jive because the way that academic works, it must be proven either experimentally or statistically, right? So to develop the hypothesis, you should be able to jive with the academic perspective, because those who work in industry, they have better practical knowledge than those who work in academic. And when I also my students when I teach MBA, some of my students are much more older than me, 10 years older than me. Their practical knowledge is better than me. Okay, but when they want to do academic writing, what they do must be proven statistically or experimentally. That one you have to discuss with your supervisor how to prove that hypothesis into a statistic or empirical evidence. Empirical evidence meaning must be in numbers, or in a proven qualitative data. So that's my comment on the hypothesis. And then on the gap, how to find the gap? This is issue for all when they are doing literature review. To find the gap. What have not been done by other people, right? Like I say, my experience, I did my PhD. My topic is given by my supervisor. From that way, the supervisor has a proposal already, and she already lay out the basic gap. What I did was I am expanding literature on that gap. So that's a top-down proposal. But a bottom-up proposal, a proposal coming from the student, so the technique that I shown by getting all the articles and lay out in the tables and lay out into category and themes would be a good way to identify the gaps. Like for me, I do research on structural equation modeling. There's a model connecting from one variable to another variable. So from doing that table, you should be able to identify what are the gaps that is not being done yet. For example, like knowledge sharing in higher education. What I found in my gap was that the issue of social media in higher education in Malaysia was not being done enough. So that I propose that in my study, in my model. I propose social media, how these professors, they use social media to share knowledge, right? Because there are some professors using social media to share the knowledge. So this is what I found in doing that table. By looking in other perspective, in other industry, they use social media. But in academic, they are not using social media enough to share knowledge. So that's how you get the knowledge gap, the gap in your research. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Ashraf. Maybe one last question from Mark Owen. What do you think about using preprints from websites such as RXIV as a reference? What do you think?
Okay.
From preprints.
Okay, preprints is okay. But when you go, preprints is they will be published, not yet published, right? Preprints, because it's pre-print, before printing. Right now, if you use preprints, you must get preprints from reputable journals. At least that journal is indexed in Corpus, right? But usually preprints from IV, they are Corpus based. you can use that. But then when you go for Viva or proposal defense, these preprints, you should update. You have to update it as you go along, because preprints, they have no issue and volume number, right? Because it's not been printed yet. So you must, you can use, but make sure it's Corpus, and you must update the volume and issue, because what you write, what you written down, it will be referred back to you, and people will look at the reference. If you only display the preprints, it's not enough. Okay.
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 Okay. One last time, Dr. Ashraf. I'm so sorry. There's a question about plagiarism. Do you have a tips to prevent plagiarism for one sentence? Maybe how many words should we can copy or paste, or just we rephrase all the sentence? Do you have any tips for us, Dr. Ashraf? This is question from Fan Juanita from ITS.
Wait, I show you one article that I do rephrase. Okay, let me show a simple rephrasing technique. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So when you have an article in PDF like this, right? Okay, first you must save by using the surname and the year. All right. So this is also what we call a housekeeping technique. How to keep your articles in a folder, because sometimes students, they download an articles and they just save it from the original name, right? From the original name of that article. So this is it's not good, because you cannot retrace the article. So make sure you save in surname and year. Okay. So what I normally do, I'm doing now is to rephrase in the text. You use the comment button, you write straight away, right? I usually rephrase from the findings, right? Here, so it's from the security. It's somewhere here. So this is already a rephrase sentence from the articles, right? So you get article, you rephrase, you copy this, the rephrase one, So when you check this and turn it in, this will not detect, because you already rephrase from your own words, right? You do not copy exactly from the text. You must rephrase. This is a rephrase one, So the easiest way is to make an active sentence to passive sentence. That's the lowest level of rephrasing, from active sentence to passive sentence. For example, like Ahmad eat rice, right? So you make it passive. Rice is eaten by Ahmad. That is the least one, right? Okay. So this is the simple one of how to rephrase a paper in the PDF file, and you copy this, right? You paste in your words. This is your word. This is your sentence, right? Okay. And then so when you put your article here, right? So you put, like, this is what I do. My recent paper on cybersecurity review. I'm reviewing paper on cybersecurity. So this is how I put the paper. Surname, year, right? So because you cite based on their surname, so you can detect back the article based on their surname, right? And then year, okay? And then this area has many review articles, So all these articles are from top database, okay? Emerald, Science Direct, failure. Okay, so only from this article. Do not take articles from low-level journal. Low-level journal like predatory journals or bad journals, because there are some bad journals that you should not refer to. Okay. Hope that helped.
Thank you, Dr. Asaf. Maybe I close the question and answer session. Thank you for your valuable information and for your technical experience. It's really valuable information for us when pursuing a master degree or doctoral degree. And now I know that I finished my PhD not too efficient as efficient as you. It's really I will apply the tips from you. Okay. Thank you once again, Dr. Ashraf, for the interesting topic and for the all audience for your active participation. Hopefully, the presentation and the technical experience and the hands-on will be beneficial and barokah for everyone. Thank you for your attention, and I give back the time to the MC to the closing section. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Fauzi, for the excellent lecture today. And thank you for Dr. Afan for conducting this amazing session. And please give applause to Dr. Fauzi and Dr. Afan by using the Zoom reaction feature for today's amazing session. Okay, furthermore, we would like to present a certificate awarding for our honorable speaker and moderator. Okay, so this is the certificate presented for Dr. Fauzi.
Thank you very much.
Okay, and then next we have the certificate presented for Dr. Afan.
Thank you very much.
Okay, once again, thank you very much to our speaker and our moderator for your availability on today's session. Okay, before we end today's session, we invite you all participants as well as the honorable speaker and moderator to take a group photo. Okay, wait. So for the participants, you may please open your camera. Okay, so we have 8 slides here. I will start counting down, so please give us your best and sweetest smile. Okay, wait. Keep your smile because we don't know on which slide you are on. Okay, wait. 1, 2, 3. Okay, next slide. 1, 2, 3. Okay, next slide. 1, 2, 3. Yes, next slide. 1, 2, 3. 5th slide. 1, 2, 3. 6th slide. 1, 2, 3. 7th slide. 1, 2, 3. And finally the last slide. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so now we have finished the group photo. Thank you for the participants. Please fill the feedback form through the link bit.ly/feedback at R2SEP 2021 that you can also see on the Zoom chat room. We want to remind you that the participant who will get the stamp for it is the participant who come on time, join this event until the end, and also fill the feedback form. Finally, we have reached the end of today's researcher and research student enrichment program, and we sincerely apologize for any mistakes that we may have made in presenting as Master of Ceremony and Committee. Thank you very much to Dr. Fauzi and Dr. Afan and all the participants for the attention and cooperation. Before we part, I would like to inform you that we still have several future agendas in R2SEP for software engineering stream. You can see it on the poster we are showing you right now, or you can check it out on ITS Global Engagement website later. We will see you in the next session on the 3rd of June 2021 with the theme Getting Published. That will be delivered by Associate Professor Jerry G. from Edith Cowan University on 3:30 p.m. GMT +7. Okay, once again, thank you everyone for today. Good evening, and wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam. Thank you, Dr. Asraf.
Thank you, Dr.
Thank you, Dr.
Kusdi.
Assalamualaikum.
Terima kasih, Pak Afwan.
Dr. Alvan.
Sama-sama.
Selamat berbuka ya.
Amin,
makasih dok.
Happy Iftar, happy Iftar.
Warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Jilid.
I will finish the sessions in the count 1, 2, 3. See you. Bye.
Bye.